Très bien. Wannan abu da hankali a cire kara share ka.
Good morning, everyone, sir. That's 20 minutes.
All right, good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning, all.
Yes, good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, we are welcome. We are all welcome on board. We have the program of event displayed. Can we all look at it quickly? The Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers Online Seminar 2022. The theme for today's online seminar is Learning Techno-preneurship Social Impact Using Mechanical Engineering Practice. Let me take it again. Learning Technopreneurship for Social Impact Using Mechanical Engineering Practice. Today's date is Thursday, 28 July 2021, and we have 10 items on our agenda. The first is joining of dignitaries / guests to the online workshop that has been taken. Next is national anthem / Naneki anthem. 3 is opening prayer. 4, welcome message by Naneki National Chairman. 5, citation of the guest lecturer. 6, delivery of lecture, that's seminar. 7 is contributions, comments and questions. 8, online presentation of certificate of merit to the guest lecturer. 9, vote of thanks by 9AK Technical Committee Chairman, and 10, closing prayer. So these are the items on our agenda today, and hopefully we will try. Please, can we all mute ourselves? Can we all mute ourselves? If you are not talking, please, can you mute yourself? Host, please mute everybody so that when we give go ahead, you can unmute. Thank you. All right, these are the items, and the time slated for this program is 1 hour, and God willing, we'll try to stay within 1 hour. Next item on our agenda is national anthem / Naimeki anthem. So please, let's take the national anthem of Nigeria. Thank you. After the count of 3, 1, 2, go. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's calling to serve our fatherland with love and strength. That our heroes one nation Thank you very much all for that national anthem. Let's quickly take our Naimeki anthem because this is a Naimeki event. After the count of 3, 1, 2, go. The best of the best is among all engineering. We are developed in technology. Commitment, practice, and focus is our work. Engineering, the better for all engineering. Always leading the field of progressive discovery. Together we shall build Nigeria. The best of the best is Naimeki among all engineering.
We are developing technology. Commitment, practice, and focus.
Kawo Mahmud yana Zoom meeting. Bari in baka ID din. Eh? Zamu ba zai yi ba?
Always leading the field of progressive discovery.
Eh?
Together we shall.
Muhammadu yana da Zoom ne? Software din.
Thank you very much all for the Naimeki national, sorry, for the Naimeki anthem. Thank you all for the Naimeki anthem. Let's quickly move to the next item on our agenda. We are all Nigerians and we believe in prayer. Permit me to call on Engineer Benedict Edensetin to give us an opening prayer. Benedict Edensetin, please. Opening prayer.
All right, thank you very much. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father in heaven, we thank you for a day like this. A day where us across the globe are gathering to learn entrepreneurship and understand effectiveness in the global competitive society like ours. Our prayer is that as we listen to these lectures, we'll not only learn it, but we'll practice it, and we'll also make Nigeria a better society, we'll make ourselves better people. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Thank you for our this lecturer. We know that he's going to equip himself to be able to transfer knowledge that will advance the cause of engineering. I pray all in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Engineer Benedict, for that opening prayer. Let's quickly move to the next item on our agenda, which is welcome message by Naimeki National Anthem. Engineer Mrs. Ifunilola Akinbagohun. Engineer Mrs. Akinbagohun, please. Welcome message by you. Thank you.
And good morning.
Good morning.
Hold on.
Engineer Olufumilade, I think that one. We can't hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you give me some few minutes?
Okay. So we can skip. Should we skip this and take it later? Hello?
That might be better. She seemed to have
what you do is you take the citation.
All right.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, good morning. I'm currently in a conference in Scotland, organized by the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So that's why I couldn't quickly join you very on time. I want to sincerely appreciate you all for taking out time to be on this webinar this morning. The speaker is a seasoned speaker, a dynamic leader, a researcher of high repute. And I want you to sit back this morning and enjoy this webinar that is being organized by the technical committee, which is headed by Engineer Ibrahim Bello, FNI Meki. Please sit back and enjoy yourself. And I bring you greetings from the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Deputy President, and the President of Foreign that are here at this conference in Glasgow, in Scotland. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, our national chairman, for that opening remark. The next item on our agenda is citation of the guest lecturer. I will be taking the citation. Please, can we mute ourselves up? Host, please mute everybody and unmute me. Thank you very much, our host. Mute everyone, please.
It's clear that this was from those years you shot at us. You have to be very careful.
All right, thank you very much. I'll be taking the citation of the guest lecturer. This is the citation of Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda, FNSE F. Naimeki. Professor Mohammed Dauda was a former HOD, Mechanical Engineering, at the University of Maiduguri. He is currently the Director, Center for Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development of the university. Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda obtained his Bachelor of Engineering degree, Mechanical, from the University of Maiduguri in 1990. He bagged a Master of Science degree, Mechanical, from the University of Lagos in 1994, and a Doctor of Engineering degree from Tokyo Metropolitan University, Japan, in 2000. Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda started his career in 1992 as a graduate assistant in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, University of Maiduguri, Borno State, where he rose through the ranks to a full professor in 2012. As a versatile engineer, Professor Dauda has more than a decade-long adventure at the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, that's NASENI, where he established the Advanced Manufacturing Technology Development Institute, AMTDI, Jalingo, an institute he served as its managing director / chief executive for 2 terms. He combines the role with that of the director, engineering infrastructure at NASENI headquarters, Abuja, where he promoted science, technology, and innovation in the context of triple helix model, the impact of which resulted in several patents, market-ready product-oriented R&D, upskilling, reskilling, and improved academic and research capacity and capability of staff. Professor Dauda is a Quran registered engineer, fellow and corporate member of many professional bodies, including fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, fellow, Association of Business Specialists and Entrepreneurs, member, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, etc., etc. Professor Dauda is a Japanese-trained professor that has won many merits awards and academic honor. A few among these include as a teacher or scholar. He won the Ford Foundation Teaching Innovation Award, UNESCO People's Republic of China Great Wall Award. As a researcher, Materials Research Society of Japan Best Research Award. As a student, Japan's Society for the Promotion of Science Research Award, Japanese Government Scholarship Award. At the Heart of Diplomacy, Japanese Government Award 2020 for promoting mutual understanding between Japan and Nigeria, first time in Nigeria. This great leader is a teacher, innovator, and a great mentor. He is an outstanding administrator par excellence, a dynamic engineer, multilingual, who is fluent in Japanese language and a fair speaker of Chinese language. He is the pioneer and currently the president, Nigeria-Japan Alumni Association. Truly, what appeals to the entire being of this great scholar is engineering, but he finds pleasure in photography and watching natural phenomena, including captivating landscapes. Professor Dauda is happily married to his amiable wife, Hajara Baba Abba, and the union is blessed with 3 adorable daughters, Nafisa, Aisha, and Zainab. Distinguished members, this is the profile of Professor Mohammed Dauda, and I'm presenting him to us today for this online seminar. Please, a round of applause for him. All right, thank you very much. Next item on our agenda, please display the agenda. Host. All right, thank you very much. That's the citation of our guest lecturer. Then we are moving swiftly to the next program. That's the delivery of lecture. Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda, you have the floor to present your lecture. Thank you. Engineer Dauda, please start the display.
First of all, we give glory to Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity to convene today and share knowledge on this all-important subject, which is technopreneurship from the point of view of mechanical engineering practice. I would like to crave the indulgence of our viewers or those that joined that are not mechanical engineers. I believe that the knowledge that they will acquire here is going to be of immense importance to them. I think you are going backward. You should go from the beginning, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it. I'm coming, sir.
Yeah.
Backwards. Okay.
Yeah. So here we are today, by the grace of God, convening for a webinar called Learning Technopreneurship for Social Impact Using Mechanical Engineering Practice. Actually, I was allocated only 20 minutes. I will try as much as possible to see what I can do within this period. This is a very wide and broad subject area that we all need to understand. Next, I always like to see that we think really very big, we dream big, and then act big. Engineers have the key to unlocking the livelihood of many people, and it is on the basis of that I decided to give you a background that is good. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes, can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I try as much as possible to take you out of your comfort zone. We have to think dream big, and then act big. I would like to show that Africa is the most endowed, continent in the whole of the world. You can see the size and the natural resources that are in Africa. That suggests a very huge market. To an entrepreneur, Africa is a market that everybody needs to come. Next. However, this Africa, as we see, in spite of all the raw materials or the available resources, is bedeviled by a number of problems, challenges, including poor infrastructure. Look at it in Nigeria, where there is no single part of Nigeria that do not have special or specific raw materials or a natural resource. We have human resources, tourist sites, arable lands. Upon all this that we have, we still have a very huge challenge. The challenge is how to harness these massive resources. Next. Excuse me. That suggests that mechanical engineers have really a very huge task in Nigeria. If you can see, I always play this particular video, even though it's appearing as a picture. Welcome to Africa, where we make hard work look easy. These are people using their human power to till the soil for agriculture, when a simple machine will be able to do that. We have been using this kind of box for time immemorial until today. This metal box is still being used. Really, we have to think like an engineer. All of us will have to think like engineers. We should dream big, we should be different, and then have fun apart from that. Now you can see a very simple picture that will tell you a story of an entrepreneurship. The direction of his umbrella will suggest something to you. We'll see it next. As time goes on. Next. As mechanical engineers, we should understand that we are one of the branches of engineering family, and mechanical engineers are endowed with knowledge of innovation. We have diverse areas from different parts. There is no single aspect of life that mechanical engineering has not touched, from the old side of mechanical engineering to the new side, and even to the latest. Shipbuilding, tool construction, railway are the old ones. Aircraft industry, the power automotive industry are the new ones, where we have the rocket production, electronics, robots, and 3D printing are all the latest parts of mechanical engineering. So the pioneers of development are mechanical engineers, and the future of development is they are still mechanical engineers. Next. So if you look at the rims, these are what is obtainable in the world as we call the advanced technologies. There is no aspect of this advanced technologies that has not been influenced by mechanical engineering. And that is why you see the same person, that particular caption of an entrepreneur that is actually there. So all these aspects are being developed by entrepreneurs. So this particular thing is to show us the importance of mechanical engineering in influencing development in the world, while the entrepreneur think differently. Next. So who is an entrepreneur? We say that an entrepreneur is somebody who sees a new opportunity and creates a business to exploit it. First of all, you spot an opportunity. Secondly, you create innovative value out of that opportunity and then create customers and make money. Simple. All idea of entrepreneurship is to make money. There are different kinds of entrepreneurship: small, large, scalable, social, innovative, which we term the technopreneurship, hustler entrepreneurship, that you see them on the streets hiking some things, and then we have the imitator research, and then the buyer. The researcher entrepreneurship are mostly in the academic line. Next. So now we see more closely. Are entrepreneurs made or are born? The answer is that there is no mystic, no magic around, or no mystery around entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is born. You can learn entrepreneurship. It is just like any other discipline. So who is an entrepreneur? We call them, we divide them into two categories: the innovator and the developer. An innovator or a developer, they recognize the size of opportunity, they convert this opportunity into workable or marketable ideas. They add value through time, effort, and money. Please understand this particular section. They add value through time, effort, and money, and they assume the risk of the competitive market to implement these ideas in order to realize their effort. So this is more concise and more accurate definition of an entrepreneur. He is not only spotting different, he is very patient to see how time and the available resources around him will be converted into something that will produce an effect that will be termed monetary at the end of the day. So, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the practice of embarking on new business or reviving an existing business by pulling together a bunch of resources in order to exploit new found opportunities. This is an entrepreneurship, and it also creates the new and then destroy the old. You will realize that what you see before, you hardly can come across them now. That is the reason on the internet, you will see people bringing some of the things that we have seen before, like Peugeot 404, advertisement for Omo as a washing detergent and whatever. So the entrepreneurs keep improving and they come up with new knowledge, new products, new processes, new services, new markets, new business models, and new raw materials. And that is the action of entrepreneurs in the society. So who is a technopreneur? A technopreneur, he is someone that uses cutting edge technology to develop new business. He's an entrepreneur who involves himself in technological changes in producing goods and services for his organization. More precisely, a technopreneur is someone that uses technology as their driven factor in transforming resources into goods and services, creating an environment conducive for growth. Next. Even though hello, next. Next, please.
Also, it's like it has hanged. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Okay. I think this should be doing.
Okay, so
Okay,
if you look
so-
at it, we have maybe about two types of technology entrepreneurship that we call the technopreneurs. Technology developers, those who develop unique technology capable of driving a new business. They are called inventors. And then we have innovators that can now innovate on an existing technology. There are many famous technopreneurs in the world. I'm sure you know a number of them: Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. They are all technopreneurs, actually. Then we have some of them that are here in Nigeria. For example, you must have come across a payment platform that is called InterSwitch or Paystack. These are all driven by Nigerians, and they are Michael Elegbe and Shola Kilade. So these are some of our famous technopreneurs as well. So technological entrepreneurship is simply entrepreneurship in a technology intensive concept. It is context. It is a process of merging technology prowess and entrepreneurial talent and skills. We will see more broadly the difference between technopreneurship and an entrepreneurship. Examples of technopreneurship: we have a technology-based enterprise, one of that drives competitive advantage from direct or indirect use of technology. For example, Apple iPod, UPS, Universal Parcel Services. Why is Apple iPod so important to be considered a very technologically driven device? Because it condenses massive storage in a very tiny piece of device, while the UPS is able to process up to 1 billion messages within a year, giving it an edge over any other part of any other delivery services. It does not limit technopreneurship to really high-tech stuff or business we normally are able to relate to technology-based. For example, an internet cafe is not considered a technology-based enterprise, even if it uses computers in its business operation, unless they configure their computers to run on a different background to have some things that are unique that will make them a kind of technopreneurs or technopreneurship. Next. Yeah, I think we go back a little bit. You've jumped something. Go back. Yeah. So in essence, one will look at technopreneurship, or a technopreneur is someone that has idea just like any other person, but he combined his idea with technology to give him, a product that is having a technological, advancement or a technological, approach to solving some problems. So we look at the technopreneur and an entrepreneur. They are different from this particular diagram. You can see that for a technopreneur to operate, he will have to think not only on the entrepreneurial aspect, that is the business aspect of whatever he wants to produce, but as well, he will have to think about the technology that will drive that one. So for an entrepreneur, he actually do not need any machine. All he needs is his computer and his ideas. And that is the reason why the entrepreneurial process and technopreneurial process are different. Look at let's start from the entrepreneurial process. He sports an entrepreneur, then he develops a business. Then it's changed. However, a entrepreneur will have to. Are we okay?
Okay, headphone.
Are you okay?
Good, go, continue, sir. It's
okay.
Good.
Continue, sir. Please, if you are not speaking,
Sorry.
mute
So
yourself. Mute yourself, please.
So
mute
the
yourself.
admin and the admin mute everybody apart from the
Please mute
presenter.
everyone, please. Let's concentrate and get the best out of this lecture.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So you are a technopreneur. All that you need to do first, no, go back, please. You have to really develop an idea. From the idea, you screen the different ideas, then you test your concept, then you analyze the business of a prototype before you go to test the market and commercialize it. And you also will have to do a monitoring and evaluation. So the technopreneurial activity is more complex than the entrepreneurial process. Next. 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 Yeah, so we can now see the differences between sorry, go back a little bit. We can see the difference between an entrepreneur and a technopreneur. We have their similarities. You know, there are a number of places where they are similar. They have all of them. They're able to determine risk and they like challenges. They are hardworking, they are robust and very energetic. They have very strong sense of self-worth, and then they are positive thinkers. So if you, I think you are on the other slide, you would have gone back one slide, but okay, that's the technopreneur. For example, while a technopreneur likes to innovate, you know, so there are a number of things that makes them different, An entrepreneur is able to do many things at once, while a technopreneur is able to do many things at once, but chooses to delegate. So these are some of the things that makes them different. We will see it perhaps in another way. Next. Next. Yeah, so when we talk about some things like the social impact, a technopreneur and the economy, we see that technopreneurs are agents of economic growth. What goes into the economy, are natural capital, financial capital, and intellectual capital. These are the three components that goes into any economy that we see. And what goes out of the economy are beneficial outputs. For example, they are maximized, and then undesirable waste outputs are minimized. And then finally, we have increased safety. So with natural capital, we mean the soil, the land, the sea, and everything that you see forests, they are natural capital. Financial capital is the money that you know, while the intellectual capital that are divided into three: human resource capital, organizational capital, and social capital. Human capital, if you have this in there, for you to have a very sound, company, you need this human capital. The skills, the capabilities, and knowledge of the firm, of the people that are working in your organization constitute your human capital. The organizational capital what constitute the organizational capital are the patterns, the technologies, the processes, database, and network, while the social capital is the quality of the relationship with customers, suppliers, and the rest. So what we have for one to be a successful technopreneur, you need to really have some kind of traits. The traits include integrity, leadership. I think you are all aware of this, including being patient. You really have to be modest. You really need to rejoice in others' victory, because when they are victorious, you now learn from how they did it. And then you should have this entrepreneurial intensity, strong entrepreneurial intensity. You must be willing to incur the cost of growth, willingness to use wide range of financing options. Finally, let me go down to this. You must be able to communicate very well. Excellent communication skill is very important. And then you must understand the value of business formation and execution of sound business plan. You must know how to raise money and, of course, build an organizational team. These are some of the traits of a technopreneur. So if you are a mechanical engineer, actually you'll have to look at this and see where you fit in. Next slide. We're talking about social impact. So for a social impact, what do we mean by that one? Anything that will have to affect people or community, and then coming up with the result as a result of our inaction or action or an activity or project or program or policy. For example, if a country brings out a policy that will impact negatively on the livelihood of the people, we consider it that it has a negative social impact. So it is the same in business. For one to have a very good social impact, positive impact of business activity on the well-being of a community or on individuals. So anything that you would like to conceive as a business person, you must look at it from the point of view of its social impact on the society, community, or an individual. So the best way to think of social impact is this interaction. It's just to see it as an interaction between two things. Whatever project you want to embark, whether it is going to end up as a product, it must have people that it will touch. So how will it touch the people? Will it be positive, negative, direct, or indirect? So these are some of the things that one will have to consider. Likely, most of us were taught in the ethics that we have to really, produce things that will have positive impact on the society, whether directly or indirectly. So the technopreneur actually impact on the society in a very positive way. As you can see from the other side from the other diagram, they create employment. They promote entrepreneurial culture. They form capital. They promote technology. They decentralize and diversify business. Finally, they use local resources. So this is really very important for mechanical engineers to look at the things around them and see how they will be able to make impact on the society, not only making impact, but as well, they can make some money. So our task today in this lecture is to create social impact through mechanical engineering practice by learning technopreneurship. How, where, and when do we start? Next. So we have to start by what I call by starting up a startup. What is a startup? This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, my respected professional colleagues. This is actually where the most important aspect of the seminar. We must learn how to establish businesses. We must learn how to use our mechanical engineering knowledge to satisfy the society and make money as well. But how do you go about that? The trend is for you to now know what is a startup. It is a temporary organization in search of a scalable, repeatable, profitable business model. What we mean by business model is your ability to continue to make money out of what you are, the service or the product you are delivering to the society. So it must be something that you can repeat over and over without making any mistake. It must be something that you will be able to expand, that is scalable. So if you are able to do that, for example, for up to 5 years for a particular startup, so that means that you are now going into what we call a company. So a startup actually is not yet a company. It is not yet a business, full-fledged business. It is something that you are testing. So that is why from onset, startup is a faith-based initiative built on guesses. Somebody will tell me that I would like to establish a drone making company. How? Maybe he doesn't know, but then he believes that he will be able to do it. So this is the beginning of his journey into becoming a real technopreneur. A startup becomes a company when it has succeeded in discovering a business model that works, as I explained earlier. So if your business model works repeatedly, scalably, and profitably for at least 3 to 5 years, then you will now say that you have a company. So you see that most of the startups focus on a single product. Because of engineers, it is very difficult to focus on so many products. And for a startup, you will just have one thing. Oh, it is this drone that I'm interested in making. No, it is this particular component, this flywheel that I would like to continue to produce, because there are many, vehicles that are interested. It keeps failing, and therefore I would like to concentrate on this. So the founders, they move around an idea until they found a significant business opportunity that will create the right impact for the society. So startups are optimal vehicle to validate and bring innovations to the market, especially more disruptive innovations. Anything that you see around that you see, they are mostly outputs of startups. So startup became very popular during the .com. Please, you go to the next slide. They became very popular during the .com bubble. Startups are often based on technology. They are low cost to enter the market. They are easy to reach many people. They are high risk, but then if they succeed, they have high reward. And it is also important for you to look at the scenario on our streets. Sometimes you see some products, people are hawking it on the street. And these products that people are hawking, normally they do not have, you go to the supermarket, you will not find it. They are actually testing the market. So testing the market suggests that people will have to really see how startup grows. So if they test and then they give some, they get some feedback, they go and improve on it. So Google, Twitter, Facebook, we are all products of startup. Why are startups sometimes needed? They are needed because sometimes you cannot market a whole product. You have only one product. So it is very difficult to establish, okay, my own is just, I will have to, this is just one product. And therefore, I have only one alternative. Let me just create this thing. So in the academics, startup is a way to translate academic inventions into commercial goods and services that benefit the public. This is very important. I will have a lecture specifically on academic technopreneurship or academic entrepreneurship in the next few weeks. We say that they are really an engine for local economic development and job creation. We'll see how they do that in the next slide. So please, to disabuse your mind, a difference between a startup and an entrepreneur, we have this for you. It is easy for you to understand that a startup has no marketplace. So anybody, each of us could be a startup owner. You have no market space, you have no customer, you have no customer inquiries, you don't have initial capital, and you are at high risk. Any money you are putting is your own money, and it may go without coming back. While an entrepreneur has a marketplace, he has customers, he has customer inquiries section, he has initial capital, and he's at less risk because if he fails here, he will go up at the other end. Next. So I just bring this one for you to understand that some people believe that they made inventions. Over the years, we have gotten a number of people that come to us with their money to develop our ideas or to improve on the ideas of others. And we realize that many fail. So idea is not actually something that we will call that will be translated into an invention. It is something that we can say only approximately 5 to 10 out of inventions that meet the criteria necessary to become a startup company. So you either invent as a startup owner, or you innovate. Whichever one you go, whichever side you go, you will be able to make it. So what do one need to have a successful startup company? It is important for you to understand that there is no single answer that will satisfy this one. But the most important thing for you to understand is it's not the idea, but the quality of the management team. You start from yourself, and then maybe you have friend, someone that you have similar, you have similar passion on a particular thing, and then you expand to maybe your family or other people that will also join the place. So if you look at it now, you will see from this particular flow chart, a scalable startup is based on the business model that has been found, and then you have already seen a product or a market fit. This product has fit the market. That is to say, the market really likes that product, and then you will be able to have repeatable sell model, and then the manager, then you can now hire a manager. Then you can transit into a company. This is a very interesting part of startup. From scalable startup to transition from scalable startup to a company, you must have a cash flow break even, profitable, rapid scale, new senior, then you can now employ more senior management. I will show you in another figure. Next. So what are the stages that you need to do before you establish a company? You identify a problem. Then you now create several ideas around this particular problem. As soon as you are able to come up with the idea that you believe is important, you now set up a team. The team could be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, it depends. Then you now start, after you have set up a team, you produce a prototype and then take it to the market. Let them see, let the customers complain about your prototype. As soon as you are done with that one, if it has succeeded, maybe if you have many people or customers that are interested in that, then you will be able to have a very good marketing plan and a revenue model. And this is very important. Finally, you need to upscale. How are you going to do it? You need more finances. Then it means you can go to the bank or you get more investors or whatever. So there are several opportunities or alternatives for financing your startup. Next. So this one I would like to go quickly as well, but they are important because these are the things that you will be asking yourself. How will I identify a problem? First of all, you are wondering about trends and consequences. Therefore, what? Intellectual curiosity and in accidental discovery. Isn't this interesting? You will have some kind of frustration with current state of things. Is there a better way? Well, now let's look at it. See the possibilities where others see problems. You are looking at it, a problem, you see it as a potential opportunity. So now you look at it. I have to also introduce a little bit of something that is not very common. There is what the Japanese people call ikigai. Ikigai is a problem worth solving. They say a problem worth solving is an opportunity. So this opportunity can point you to your ikigai. What is ikigai? It's a Japanese word for purpose. What is your reason for being? Actually, by the time you start thinking about your reason for being, you will realize that your passion, it is meeting your expertise. As soon as your passion meets your expertise, then there is an opportunity there. And believe me, this is how many Japanese succeed in establishing startups by combining their passion and their expertise. So I don't know what is your ikigai. Whatever your ikigai is, you have to think about how the larger community or the society will benefit with it. Please don't keep quiet. Bring it out and then share their information or idea with other people. Let the idea now speak for you and of course for the entire mechanical engineering family. Next. So start off step one, the problem. What do people need and how frequent is such needs? If they need it only once, it is not a big deal. Don't even go into that. But if they need it very frequently, it means they have an opportunity to create a very huge social impact. Is it a problem that begs for solution? Is it a transient or permanent problem? If it is permanent, that means a very huge, a much bigger, social impact will be created. Is it a passion for a product or service? It's up to you to look at it. Will your service or solution a cosmetic one or a permanent one? Is it an innovative product? These are the kind of questions that one will be able to must ask himself before you embark on anything. Then the ideation or the solution validation. You have to find a long-term solution to an identified problem. Filter and refine the best of them. It is always great or innovative idea that people really need. Is it what people really need? If you believe it is, then you move to the next one, which is to build a team. As I said, your team may be full of, may not likely be full of mechanical engineers or so. Yeah, there may be a number of people from different backgrounds, social sciences. It all depends upon how you want to move, depending upon the nature of the problem. So please, let's move to the next one. Yeah, so the customer and product service or the prototype validation. Here you've already developed a product, so you need to test. You need people to see and then tell you how to refine it further for them to be able to buy. And this is very simple. I think many people are doing that based on our knowledge of engineering design. You go back with the feedback and then you go and do it again. So the next one is marketing or business plan or revenue model. In some cases, mechanical engineers, of course, may find it a little bit difficult for them to draw their business plan, but they can work with other people in marketing or, for them to get a very good business because they know what they want. They know what they have put in, and therefore they know how much it should go. So these people will tell them, or based on our financial, engineering economy, you will be able to come up with the cost of your final product and how the sales will be in the next 5 years. 5 years. So this is something that is really very important. Then you have startup financing. The financing is how you can convert your idea to profitable business models. You need to find sources of finance. Is it possible that you get a business angels? We call them angel investors. These are people that are willing to put in their money for you to develop your idea. Not necessarily them getting something out of it at that time, but at the end of the day, if the idea succeeds, then they will become partners. And this, we have also venture capital or venture capitalists. These people are interested in becoming partners right as soon as they see your product. If you now have a product or prototype that you've developed, so if a venture capitalist sees it, he will be able to invest. So you become partners through a profit sharing agreement. So this is the importance of that. And then you can go through business incubators like the Nigerian Technology Incubation Centers, Tech Points. There are a number of places. And then you have accelerators that will be able to also link you up with some people that will finance your business. Next. Then in a summary, this is what we have as a startup. How to start a startup. You must live in the future ahead of your time. What is missing in the world? This is the way to think. Write it down and bounce ideas around. This is the ideation stage. And then you make a prototype, show the prototype to 100 people. After showing the prototype to 100 people, they'll iterate on the prototype until it makes sense. Then find a co-founder. A co-founder could be your friend, your wife, your whatever. Then you start working, or somebody that you know that you have the same person. Register your corporation and split equity. That is after passing through the stages of startup. Then now you look for funding, and then you launch your product, so that everyone will know that you have made something. After that, after launching, you target at least 1,000 users. If it has not gone to 1,000 users, then apparently you will have to launch again. Some companies launch as many times as 3 times. So you don't be discouraged if you launch and you didn't get up to 1,000 users. But if you get up to 1,000 users, then you now look for an opportunity to grow at the rate of 5%, a week. It is hard, but it has proven to be possible. So you keep growing for another 4 years, and that rate you will now reach what many people believe is the most important or the most successful peak in your business, 25 million users in 4 years. Very difficult, but it's possible. So next, let's go. So this is a little bit difficult to understand, but it is, it's not very clear, but it is the same idea that I explained earlier. You come up with an idea, you start discussing with your friend over a cup of coffee while eating whatever. Then, oh, really, I also have this idea. So the most important thing is you. This is number one. Then now finding someone that is really interested in your idea. If he has also the same passion of you, the crazy two will be able to produce what the whole world will require. So splitting that one will be important. From 2 of you, you now find a co-founder, and then now you have friends and family if they're interested in joining. They also donate. They also put in their money before the angel investors or venture capitalists join, and then now you start employing people. By the time you do that, banks will naturally be coming after you. Before you say Jack Robinson, the whole world is with you. Next. Yeah, I just want to say here that we have startups in Nigeria. Actually, majority of Nigerian startups are in the financial and data sectors. A few in agri and health sectors. Very few actually in mechanical engineering section. This is very pathetic. Recently, we do have some young people that are, doing a number of things. Some have been on the same stage, manufacturing vehicles or whatever that will never go anywhere. They have been doing that for the past 10 years and nothing has happened because they didn't follow the startup strategy. They don't really understand how to develop a business. They only do it because it is passion. They only do it because they are interested, and they lack that knowledge of converting their idea into a real marketable product. So we have also one of the guys that is really doing a lot of things related to electric vehicle in Maiduguri, Engineer Gajibo, a dropout from our own department some times ago. He dropped out because he wanted to pursue his passion. That is to make electric vehicle. He wants to go green, and that is making him go everywhere at the moment. We have had meetings with him, and we have identified some of his lapses. I think we will continue to advise such kind of people so that they will be able to go through the right channel of engineering and develop things that will be of importance to the world. Next. So sources of government funding. There are many sources of government funding. Believe me, I don't think we'll be able to dwell on that one, but there are a number of them. Next. Once you have an idea and you decided to come up to create something out of it, I think it is very important for you to approach some of the places and you will see it happening. So as an engineer, mechanical engineer, you have the opportunity to be a consultant. You have the opportunity to come up with a prototype. It doesn't matter. You can have a business that is not in conflict with your work. And if you are a practicing engineer, you have the opportunity to upgrade. So there are a lot of things here. Next. So factors that influence a startup growth: timing, patents, and intellectual property, big customers and standout products. There are some challenges. You have no capital, neglecting marketing because you don't know how to market your product, lack of planning, you don't know how to the time management, poor management, founders, skill hunting, comfort zone, competitors. Some of the things are things that we have already learned. All that we need is a little bit guidance from the point of view of transition between idea and product development. And this can be done easily. Next. So it is now I'm just showing also a little bit of what I have seen, the developments around the country. The startup ecosystem in Nigeria is really big, particularly Lagos is the epicenter of a startup in the whole of Africa. Probably some say that there is no country that has very huge startup like Nigeria, and the concentration or the majority are in Lagos. We have other cities that do have also startups, and to tell the truth, most of these startups has to do with ICT. Only a few that do have with mechanical or so. So this is an opportunity for all of us to see. So we will be able to see it later. So next, please. So now you will have to answer this question: what kind of engineer are you, or what kind of technopreneur are you? We have an adapter, and then we have an innovator. An adapter solves problem in tried and understood ways. That is the old school. An innovator discovers problems and avenues of solution, questions, assumptions, frames, reframes, and reframes problems. So an adapter works for slow incremental change, continuous improvement, while an innovator actually takes control of unstructured situation, invents, provides dynamics to bring about radical changes and new paradigms. They see adapters seen as authority in current paradigm, while an innovator seen by adapters as unsound, impractical, and shocking. Actually, I will have more on this one, but what I want to say is that NIMEC, we have a really big job here because we have the old school and then we have the new, the trendy guys. So in between, we have a vacuum. Unless we bring this vacuum, or we bring these guys together, it will not work because, for example, there are many people that have mechanical engineering outfits or production outfits, but the production outfits are based on mechanical activities or mechanical machines only. Now people are moving towards automation. So the trendy guys will see the adapters as their ability to produce only 5 products in a day. What with innovators, they want to see, instead of 5, they want to see 100 products in a day. How will they do that? It is only through automation. So if you look at it, a very huge opportunity awaits the mechanical engineers by trying to automate some of the old production lines. This is how Innocent started. He realized that he cannot make any sense unless he automates his production line. And truly now he's realizing his dream. So next, I would like to introduce you to some of the key skills mechanical engineers need in order to succeed. First of all, I would like to show that there is no way that one will be able to poach in this present dispensation unless if you innovate and you create. So innovation and creativity, they are actually part of us, but we need to really improve on this one in order to, to take our activities to the next level. We have to really learn the act of, the art of presentation and communication. Interpersonal skill is very important. Leadership, not only in your working place, even if you do, are you a boss or a leader? So you must understand that the trends have changed so much. Your core subjects, of course, they are part of you. You must have that technical knowledge, understanding of industry standards. Otherwise, you produce a product or a prototype that cannot pass the standards, and therefore nobody is going to buy. Technical report writing is part of the skills that we need. Literacy in computer skills, if possible, plus coding. Otherwise, you train your people to learn how to do some of the things. Design software, if you know how to do it, they are good. If you don't know, train some people working under you to be able to compete anywhere they go. Ability to work in a team, teamwork is important everywhere. Planning and organizing, they are part of us. Monitoring skills, project management, BOQs, cost estimation and budgeting, contract management, and then above all, passion for learning. Just be able to go for upskilling or reskilling. Now, what is trendy is what we call micro certificates for mega jobs. People that go through the university, please look at the other one, skill 4.0, you will understand what I'm saying. Growing role of soft skills. The growing role of soft skills can never be underestimated. The hard skills are the ones that make you eligible. These are your certificates. I have BSc in this, MSc in this, PhD in this. These are the things that make you eligible. They are job specific. However, the soft skills make you actually desirable. So you may not even have that certificates, but because you have the soft skill, it will be able to give you that job ahead of someone that has the eligibility. So this is very important, and it is in fact becoming even much more very clearer now with people and job places. Someone in Nigeria as a mechanical engineer with some soft skills will be able to be absorbed or to be given a job from his computer in Nigeria. He applies and get a job and get out of the country. While some people will be here in Nigeria, they find credible partners to establish a company in Nigeria while the partners are abroad. So there are a number of things that we'll be able to do. So creativity, critical thinking leads to problem solving. These are some of the things that are required by industry. However, if you are top management, then there are soft skills that you need to learn. There are complex problem solving. This is very important, coordinating with others and managing people. So for top management is different from the young, people that are they are going to work in the industry. Next. I would like to share also with you a few places or a few startup business for mechanical engineers that you'll be able to actually think about, ponder about, and establish your startup without wasting so much money and time. The first ones above are, for example, the nuts and bolts manufacturing. There is no single country that will not require that one. In Nigeria, we have we have different kind of vehicles and mechanical stuff that require nuts and bolts. So this is a very profitable business, and it does not require so much money. Solar panel installation, repair, maintenance, these are all areas that mechanical engineers could go. Product assembly service, bring in machines and then assemble them. Unison started that way as well. It brings in products and then assemble them. That was after the spare part business he was involved in. Then he started assembly. At first, he was bringing everything assembled from China and so, but he realized that he's paying more because of space. He decided to say, okay, please, I want them unassembled. So by the time he does that, instead of bringing 10 in a container, for example, he will be able to bring 30 in a container unassembled. Then he will assemble them in Nigeria manually. And that was how he got an edge over other people. Otherwise, the business is not like a new one. People are into it, but that gave him the opportunity. So mechanical engineering consultancy firm, this is as old as mechanical engineering as it is. And therefore, this is an area that whether you are a government worker or so, I think you'll be able to consult, particularly in the academics. You can do that one with little money and you make money, of course. So this is an area that one will be able to start to establish a startup. Supply chain management, of course, to be able to bring in things from one step to another, from one place to another. You are always being told by manufacturers, by producers and whatever. Chemical industry machines designing. This is, I think, a little bit trendy here in Nigeria. And then we have e-waste recycling. Actually, not only e-waste. In Nigeria, the recycling is a big business unless we have to look at it. And truly, this is mechanical engineering. I share a very simple example with you on two issues. First of all, the mechanical engineering consultancy. When I was at the University of Lagos, I always go with my professor to Ikeja to visit some companies. We meet with them and they tell us what they want. By the time we return to the university, we establish proposals and money comes in for the professor while he offered them solutions. It was the same in Japan. I always go with my professor from one company to another, or on the contrary, in Japan, in fact, they come to us. So when they come, they tell us their problems, and then we visit the place. At the end of the day, we provide solutions to them. This is academic consultancy, and it was really perfect. Then as for the West, until today, I think just recent that about maybe a year ago, we consulted for the UNDP related to waste recycling and management. So these are areas that mechanical engineers could go in without much problems. Machinery designing, this is also a very old, many people believe that as soon as you say you are a mechanical engineer, they think you'll go and start designing machines, whatever. There are people that are into that, while there are people that are into other aspects. So we have allowed so much of maybe quacks to be doing all this while we are watching them. When we see solar panel installators, some of them have not even gone to secondary school, and even the management, none of them has knowledge of what energy heat transfer energy is all about. So we should really be very curious and look inward. Machinery distribution, these are all paths that you can do it. Now it is even easy because you can do it over the internet without really moving an inch. So I will also introduce others. Some of this may require high capital investment. However, you can be a contractor or a supplier. Innovation and product development. Renewable energy, one of the best for engineers, just as I said earlier, not only solar, but you can venture into other aspects of renewable energy. Manufacturing of spare parts, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, installation, repair and maintenance is all through a different category actually, and they are very good. Rental generators or generator rentals and generator repair. These are all aspects that mechanical engineers could go into. You partner with a bigger organization and then you'll be able to have your generators, their own generators with your little money. If you don't have enough money to buy and keep, they have it for you, then you share profits. Fitness and gym tools and equipment. If you have passion for, gym, then it is also for you. Blow molding and injection molding setup. These are areas that we will continue to require. Plastic is just something like our clothes. You need it all the times. Companies need it, individuals need it, and everything. So ready to assemble furniture. Now people go into this one because it is very easy. You get this furniture, you either design, if you have a workshop, you design and make them ready for assemble. Otherwise, you buy and then you allow it to go to the customers, for assembly. So there are a number of opportunities here. Next. Next. Yeah, so I'm giving a very simple example, go back a little bit, of how working in a government organization will give you the opportunity to spin off an industry. Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center in Jalingo, we were known for agro-processing machines simply because we found ourselves without money, no take-up grant, no nothing. We went into research and come up with multi-grain threshers, tested them over time, and we were able to see that at the end of the day, it became a kind of a focal point for people from Chebi, from everywhere coming to, advanced manufacturing technology for machines. So this has given the government an opportunity to also get internally generated revenue. And this has passed 3 years. I'm sure by now, I think advanced manufacturing technology must have continued with this particular aspect of, agro-processing machinery, because this is an area that we will continue to need in order to solve the problems of, post-harvest. So next, you will see that not only the government that patronizes our product, but also, the other politicians. Please, next. Yeah, you can, these are the processes. Next. 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 So what I was trying to show, actually, there are 2 products that we actually went into research. Next. We went into research to realize that in Taraba State, they needed, a multi-grain thresher to solve their post-harvest problems. And then they also need they needed fish dryer because they harvest a lot of fish. And along the line, they don't know the traditional method of, fish drying, or popularly known as banda, or fish roasting, that the one that you get in the garden, is very unhygienic sometimes. So we come up with a machine that will be able to do that very efficiently. And the governor was happy until when he started asking us to produce 300 and something pieces for him. We told him, Your Excellency, we cannot do that because but we'll be able to teach your people how to do that. So you can set up a company if you want. We can transfer technology, and then we can also sell the patent rights to you so that the government will be able to have internally generated revenue. So this is the way to go. So in an organization where you work, if you want, you can now spin up a company based on a particular product that you believe it is having a niche, it's a niche area. So that's it. Next, please. Yeah, so this is what happened with the governor and some of the things that we supplied to him. Next. Yeah, so I think we jumped only, yeah, so the tech. Okay, well, we now with the University of Maiduguri Center for Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development. Here we have a number of skills that we teach students, Patrice students, but these are basically skills, tailoring, bakery and confectionery, soap making, hand sanitizer, a number of them that which is GSM repairs and whatever. However, we believe that through that action, a number of them were able to establish their own businesses by simple, a kind of learning at the center for 1 semester, So when they went back home, they continued, and at the end of the day, they were able to establish their businesses. Recently, an NGO came, and we were able to assemble some of them that continued with the business, with the learning, by establishing their businesses even after completing school. So the NGO was so happy, and they wanted to track their advancement. So they decided to motivate them and give them some money to go and upgrade their business. So these are some of the things that we believe are also good. However, this is basically what we do here is just skills acquisition. Next. Next. So there was a story of Farmers Association and their preferred solution. The farmers came to the university that they want a kind of a treasure for rice and guinea corn and whatever. So we were able to give them this design, an optimized design for this one that will process about 400 kilograms of rice per hour. However, they believe that it was too difficult for them. The woman that you see, that was the way they normally process their rice. So we now give them a machine, but they said it was too expensive. So we came up with a machine that will be able to go just the way they want, partly manual and partly mechanical. So this is what we are now working on. Probably we'll be able to go into a full partnership to produce several pieces of these machines for the Farmers Association. Next. So we go also for this, some of the high tech. During the COVID-19, the university intervened by developing what we call the face mask. This face mask is printed actually using 3D printer, and it was meant for the people fighting at the front line, that is the medical team and of course the military. We were able to distribute the different type of things to the to the government, Borno state government, military, and whatever. So this is one of the samples that we produced using 3D printer. All that you need to do is to change the filter rather than throwing it. It's not disposable. So you only change the filter and throw it. So this is very important for people writing at the front line. So what we are trying to say here that new product manufacturing is no longer the domain of few, but the opportunity of the many. So you can go into manufacturing based on different technologies that are available, particularly the 3D printing, which I don't intend to go deep into that. Thank you. Next one. We were able also, the other one that has to do with the farmers is related to a low-level technology. Now let's give you an example of a mechanical consultancy. Actually, the Nigerian Air Force, they have some kind of aeroplanes that they call Alpha jets. These Alpha jets were grounded, several of them were grounded because of what they have braking system problem. So when they approached different organizations, including different universities and other areas, assembled them, they asked them to come up with proposal on how to fix this problem. University of Maiduguri not only fixed the problem of the Alpha Jet anti-cheat braking system, but were able to also produce a testing machinery and simulation for them. So from that time, it is not about failure, but about even predicting when the failure will pay or will happen. So this is what we are. University made some money from this consultancy, and we're looking for more opportunities like this. Next. So with all this, what are other people doing to support entrepreneurship or technopreneurship? University of Maiduguri was given a lifeline of about 1 billion naira by Abdul Samad Rabiu. Abdul Samad Rabiu initiative is supporting the efforts of Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa, with the money. 50 million every year for Nigeria and $50 million for Nigeria and $50 million for the rest of Africa in the area of what he calls African Fund for Social Development. It was recently extended to education, health, and infrastructure and capacity building. So University of Maiduguri, the purpose, of course, was to equip facilities, researchers, and healthcare practitioners. So University of Maiduguri was lucky to have gotten that money. That money actually came for a particular purpose, but the vice chancellor felt, because he is also in the area of technopreneurship, believe that we can use the money to build a center that can serve the whole country. And we call it Center for Innovation and Product Development. This is purely a technopreneurship area that everybody will be able to benefit. This is the one that you see is the design of the center, and I am telling you that this center is about 70% completion at the moment. By the maybe by the beginning of next year, we'll begin to use this center for startup. So if you need any assistance in line with your developing your ideas and translating your ideas into product, this is the right place for you. Next. So you can see that they're mostly things related to the award of the project, of the money, 1 billion naira, which is almost about 2.5 million US dollars. Next. So we have other entrepreneurs that support also the development of entrepreneurship, particularly the technopreneurship. The Tony Elumelu Foundation, where I'm also a mentor, is a very good place for people that have ideas and want their ideas to be translated into something that will have positive impact in the environment or the society. Next. So having some random thoughts as my conclusions and recommendations. Actually, I do not have much to say here, but I want to assure you that technopreneurship is a mechanical engineer's business. We must adopt the new practice trends rather than sticking with the traditional way. Example, we must learn how to automate some of our production facilities rather than wait for complete machines to come. So the blend of the old and the new is very important here. Next is the NIMA key to establish a technopreneurship center, something like an innovation center that will serve as a mentoring clinic for mechanical engineers, fresh graduates, unemployed and practicing. For fresh graduates, they will have the opportunity to either be mentored to go for further studies or to get a job. For unemployed, it is an opportunity for job or starting up a startup. For the practicing engineers, it will be an opportunity for job mobility. If you are dissatisfied or you know that your company where you are working you are only using 50% of your capabilities, then now you will move to another company that you believe that will maximize your use. And then you can switch because this company is not challenging you. You don't find it challenging anyway. So otherwise, for a practicing engineer, you need a new path for improved productivity or upgrading of production line. This particular NMA key technopreneurship center will be able to handle all this. Please, we should note that mentoring in this sense should be total to include opportunities for understudy, internship, fund sourcing for startups, matchmaking, linkages, and of course, job recommendations. So what I believe is that we should be more proactive. We should actually be the same mechanical engineers we are, and then introduce more innovation. I know we have been doing some of the things. I mentioned, but I think we can do it in line with the trends that we find ourselves. And that is the reason why I decided to include this simple quotation by this gentleman that birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. So I think we are not, we should find a way of going out of that. And that NIMA key, as I said, must dream big and act big. We should have a very big dream. The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. You have to change. So NIME, next one, to do that, NIME should lead members on how to turn bending moments that we spend so much time in the university or in our colleges learning. We now will have to really find a way of turning them into money. We have to devise some business models. The bending moments we have learned are not obsolete. They can be turned into business models. The only way to do that is through technopreneurship. Next, I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause. A round of applause to our very distinguished lecturer. Another well-deserving round of applause for our very distinguished lecturer, please. Thank you very much, Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda, for doing justice to this presentation. Of course, we never expected, less than this. We knew we were going to get what you just gave us. You have done it before, and you have done it now, and I believe you will continue to do it. Thank you very much for that. Engineer Dauda, please display the agenda. All right, thank you. Without wasting much of our time, let's take the next item, which is contributions, comments, and questions. So please, the floor is open for that. I can see a hand up. Let me check which hand is this. Please, in this order, let's take Wasiu Oyedepo. Wasiu Oyedepo, please unmute yourself and give your comment, your contribution, or your question. Thank you. Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda, please take note of any question that will come. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. My name is Engineer Wasiu Oyedepo. I want to say a very big thank you to Baba Abidemi for this very beautiful presentation. He has been our mentor for the past 3 years, and the lecture has actually conceptualized most of what he has been mentoring us upon. Number one, I would like to be an advanced applicant to the ROBU initiative. So if, as part of the mentorship we have been receiving, we would like to also receive that. You said that the center should be ready by next year. So we would like to join in the center's mentorship program. I would also like to, that is to Professor Dauda, now to Nimeki. He has challenged the institute to start a sort of a hub that can actually assist engineers to grow. So I want to suggest that the institute will form a committee to actually look at this paper and be able to implement it so that it will not, because this is not the first time Prof will be telling the institute many things to do, but we need to really hit the ground. So that's my take. Thank you very much. Baba Abidemi, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer, for that. Next, Suleiman Shehu. Please unmute yourself and let's hear you. Thank you. Suleiman Shehu, are you there? All right. If Suleiman Shehu is not there, let's quickly take Engineer Dr. Abdul Rashid Babalola. Engineer Dr. Abdul Rashid Babalola is a former chairman of NSE Kaduna branch and a National Exco member of NSE. My doctor, come on board, please. Thank you.
Thank you for my comments. I would like to appreciate two categories of people here. The first one is the division. The national chairman, Fumelade Akibagun, head of the Society of Engineers. And indeed, all the committees that padu this very educated and articulated paper. The next appreciation goes to Professor Mohammed Dauda, a fellow of the society. I I'm not surprised that Professor Dauda has given this out today to us once again. He has always been doing that. I've listened to 3 of his papers, and all are thought-provoking. Technopreneurship is the way to go, and he has challenged Naimeki to pursue that. This is a way of professional development of engineers. If all these that has been articulated and explained detail by Professor Mohammed Dauda is adhered to and used to develop our undergraduate, graduate members, young engineers, and indeed all engineers at large, who will not be talking of unemployment at any stage of our professional development. So I want to appreciate this. And I want to use this opportunity to inform Professor Dauda that the Professional Development Board, that I am the chairman by the grace of God, we want to collaborate with you. We would like to replicate this type of paper to a larger community of engineers. This time around, it's not going to be to only mechanical engineers, because many engineers did not even know that technopreneurship is the way forward for all fields of engineering, including the agricultural engineering and the rest, as we have already stipulated here. So I'm going to write you in that regard. I have your contact. I know where you are. I'm going to tell our president, Engineer Tasio Woody, about this paper, and I'm sure it will okay our invitation to you. Thank you, Professor Dauda Mohammed. Thank you. Continue to impact. God, in His infinite mercy, will continue to give you more wisdom to live up to the expectation of Nigeria in the area of creating job and professional development. Thank you, Naimeki. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Engineer Dr. Abdul Rashid Babalola. Next is David Echendu. Unmute yourself. You have 30 seconds, please. Thank you. David Echendu. David Echendu, are you there?
Yes. Thank you so much for the privilege. I'm honored. Okay. My name is David Echendu, sir, and I'm a student. I'm currently studying mechanical engineering. You know, probably I'm affected by the strike. This is a thought-provoking section, and I want to say a big thank you to Prof for these amazing papers. So, sir, I want to quickly add up, ask a question about the startup area you talk about. For example, for both and nuts, I noticed that, okay, as a mechanical engineering student, the trend now that I observe is most companies don't really, I would encourage mechanical engineering students to take through this. I don't know why. Probably if they are trying to make this path to go into institution. So what would be your advice? Should okay, I am a mechanical engineering student, and I know how to operate this machine. I have used some of those machines, but most times those kind of opportunity where I seek to maybe grow my my skills is there. How can we create those platforms for students to grow their skills in this particular section of the mechanical engineering part that is spoken to me? And also, how can the students fully benefit from this hub that is being created? Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, David Echendu. Your line was not very good, but I believe Prof has understood your question. Next is Engineer Al Hassan. Abdul Mohammed. Engineer Al Hassan is the Deputy National Chairman of NIMEKI currently. Your question, sir.
Good morning, everybody. I wish to congratulate the presenter, Professor Mohammed Dauda, for a well-presented paper and well-educated by that matter. Then I also want to congratulate the technical committee for coming up with this workshop. Well, my own comment is concerning the issue of funding. It's really a great challenge because I know the CBN, they have a lot of incentives in that regard. But the major problem we have, the CBN cannot actually deal directly with the individuals, but they have to go through commercial banks and sometimes governments. But we find problem with most of these commercial banks, and by the time the money is channeled to them, they always frustrate the people that have interest in some of these facilities. So I don't know what advice will you give in that regard. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Engineer Al Hassan. Next is Ochene Yakubu, Engineer Dr. Yakubu. Engineer Dr. Yakubu is a National Exco member of NIMEKI. Please unmute yourself and let's have your question. Thank you. Engineer Dr. Yakubu, are you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm there.
Right, please go ahead.
Yeah, good day, everybody. Okay, good day, everybody. Let me congratulate the presenter, Professor Mohammed Dauda, for a very presentation. So well articulated presentation, and also to the technical committee, whose chairman is Engineer Ibrahim Bello. So thank you for giving us a very beautiful presentation. I said that, yes, I think we're going to work this, NIMEKI is going to, I'm not speaking for the chairman, but I think NIMEKI is not going to leave these people unattended to. So we are going to, by the grace of God, look into these people and see how the suggestion suggested, the Prof has suggested, how to make it to reality in collaboration with him. And I think the Prof, as a mechanical engineer, is part of us, who assist us in making sure that this reality, I mean, the dream of NIMEKI establishing the delivery center came to a reality, having him. So definitely we are going to look at these people and then come on to a strategy on how to start the NIMEKI Center for Excellence, Center of Excellence. So thank you very much for giving the opportunity for these people. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, AA Aminu, you were raising your hand. AA Aminu, please.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. First of all, let me say that I'm not an engineer by profession. I'm simply a layman. When I listen to Professor Dauda's paper, I'm so much impressed. But my point of worry is that the inclination of the paper is an excellent paper, but I think there is need to carry along other people, as he has said, the issue of value chain. Whatever you are going to manufacture in terms of manufacturing by mechanical engineering, at least you can manufacture anything that people have no interest. How viable the product is. If somebody can ask now, the example that you made about the face mask, where is the position of the face mask today? The prototype that they have produced, apart from the ceremonial presentation of that face mark, that's the end of the story, which means there is no continuity in terms of supply chain. So as mechanical engineers, yeah, it's excellent for you to design a product. It's one thing to design a product. It's another thing to market the product and sustainability of the product. So my own point of view is that, yes, there is credibility in manufacturing. I have once been to South Korea for a techno-preneurship program. And one of the major problems we are having in this country is the issue of packaging. How do we package the products that we produce? A mechanical engineer can produce a machine that will produce the product, but our major problem is packaging. If you see how we process our palm oil, you will be ashamed that we have mechanical engineers. So the most important thing is that we must carry all other sectors together. Let's look at first the viability, 2, the marketability, 3, and the sustainability of the product we are able to produce, or any machine that we are able to produce. However, let me seize this opportunity to thank all those that have participated, and also to thank Professor Mohamed Dauda for this wonderful paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, A.A. Aminu, for your question, your comments, and everything. The floor is now open for our presenter to answer some of the questions that were raised. Engineer Professor Mohamed Dauda.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm really fascinated by the number of responses I received, as a result of this presentation. Actually, I was a little bit, I was thinking that people were not following, but I am so impressed that have gone down in their brain, that they have understood what we are trying to communicate. This is very important. So first of all, let me answer Engineer Wasiu. My brother Wasiu said that he would like to be the #1 applicant to collaborate with our Center for Innovation and Product Development. You are welcome. The place, we pride ourselves in that place, but it is a place that we welcome anybody to come with a stupid idea. Out of the stupid idea, we'll be able to come up with something that is reasonable. So it is a place for everybody. Come up with their idea, no matter how crazy the idea is. Let's see how we'll be able to benefit from that. So this is the lowest level of our interaction with people. So people with good ideas actually is a home for them. The other question is actually, you are directed that one to NIPT, that they should set up a committee. I think they must have seen that one. Then Engineer Babalola talked about professional development. He mentioned that, of course, he's not sure that other arms of branches of engineers are aware of how to go about benefiting from what they have studied in the university and what they are practicing. We all end up learning to serve others. We learn and then we go to work for others. At the end of the day, we retire serving others. We retire that we cannot translate to the society. So I think I'm very much open to work with anybody towards bringing this, this kind of presentation to them, so that they will be able to wake up. We'll all wake up and then do what we can do for other generations to even do it better. David Ochendu, a student, even though it was not very clear, but I understand he was talking about Bold and North startup. And how shall we, advise him on how to benefit from also the Center for Innovation? David Ochendu, it is now very clear that if you want to see how mechanical engineers are wasting opportunities. Just take a simple statistics of, for example, if it is Chechenape or motor cars around you or the mechanics around you, just ask them, what are the most frequently failed components on the machine or the vehicle? They will tell you. Nuts and bolts are things that we need almost every day. And all you need is just a very simple process to continue to manufacture and sell them. So this is very interesting. You will be able to get our advice whenever you are ready. And as for how to benefit from our center, as I said, the center will soon be commissioned, and I assure you that students are at our heart. At the University of Maiduguri, already we have started engaging students to be part of the centers. And one of our drive at the University Center for Entrepreneurship is, our slogan is for students to start earning money before they graduate. So we involve them in some of the things that we do so that they will be able to earn some money. Engineer Al Hassan talked about funding, and just before, after which I think the network failed or the Zoom restarted for me. So he was particularly thinking about funding. There has never been a time in the whole world that funding for startups or entrepreneurship is really very easy. This is a time where you will see a simple, anybody with his own idea will be able to go anywhere and then partake in either a boot camp or some activities that will fetch him money. About 8 months ago, I brought 8 University of Maiduguri students to participate in a boot camp at the African University of Science and Technology, where they participated in a technopreneur boot camp. And this, surprisingly, the 8 students that participated, they were grouped. You know, at the end of the day, the group that we went with were able to transit to the next level. And I think the group were able to get a sponsorship without any strings attached. Normally, the sponsorships will come with some money without any string attached. So all they need to do is for you to improve and come up with a better application or a better product. Then as for engineer AA Aminu, well, first of all, let me say, unfortunately, the face mask that we are talking about was part of the intervention during the COVID-19, prevention of transmission of the virus. So, I mean, people, engineering practice at that time did not follow a particular order. All that people were interested is to see how we can curtail the problems related to, the spread of COVID-19 virus. So what happened was we were able to come up through a network, this 3D printing network. Even though you said you are not an engineer, I made presentations on 3D printing several times. And 3D printing is a technology that anybody can go into it, provided you have the requisite knowledge. So it is a shortcut to manufacturing. So we have networks around the world. So we decided in our network to come up with one unique design. That it was designed by people. Some are in South Africa, some are in the US, some are in Nigeria, and then finally, the same design was circulated to members to mass produce or to produce so that they will be distributed free of charge, if possible, to frontline fighters. So we were able to come up with that prototype and with the ability to manipulate and come up with even a different one. So that one was a kind of a sample that we produced in multiple of 10 that we were able to give. As I said, we were not producing it to sell. Any entrepreneur that is interested in going beyond that, we are ready to work with him. So If that one provoked your curiosity for a business, we are ready to work with you on something like this or any other thing similar to this. So about working as mechanical engineers or engineers alone, as I mentioned in my presentation, there will be no progress without a kind of multidisciplinary approach. We need the economists, we need the social scientists generally, because they understand the society much more than we do. We need historians to give us history of activities that happened several years ago and connect it with what we are trying to do so that we'll be able to prevent failure and record successes. Marketing or marketers are involved in whatever stage of our development. An engineer must have learned a little bit, some few things related to engineering, economics, and marketing strategy. However, at the higher level, you need experts. And that is the reason why I said, for one to have a successful startup without any failure, no matter how good your idea is, you really need a team. It is the team that will determine the success of, your startup. So if the team that we are constituting will involve students of Arabic and Islamic studies, but then it is a mechanical outfit, you know his own contribution in the team. If his contribution will add to value to your team, there is no problem with that at all. Talk less of people that are in the social sciences or other areas that actually work directly on. These are some of the things, or these are what I recorded. If I skipped anyone, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda. I think you answered all the questions. In fact, you took a very good note of all before answering. Thank you so much. So let's quickly, our time is well spent. Let's take the next item, which is online presentation of certificate of merit to the presenter. This will be done by the Deputy National Chairman of NIMEKI, that's Engineer Al-Hassan Abdul Mohammed. Engineer Al-Hassan, please. We have the certificate before us, so please do the presentation. Thank you.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers, the national chairman, the council, the ESCO, and all other members of the institution, I hereby present this certificate of merit for certificate of presentation to our presenter, the Engineer Professor Mohammed Dauda, FNSC, FNMK, as the guest speaker of the 2022 National Seminar held on 28 July 2022 online. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Congratulations. Sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Al-Hassan Abdul Mohammed, for that. We are closing up on our program. Please, the program of event. Thank you. All right, next is vote of thanks by the NIMEKI Technical Committee Chairman. The NIMEKI Technical Committee Chairman is Engineer Ibrahim Bello. Engineer Ibrahim Bello is one of the Vice National Chairmen of